Okay, hello. I think I'm live. Let me just figure a couple things out. I'm going to try to broadcast this live on Facebook, and I'm going to be checking here in just a second to see if I am. So sorry I'm late. I'm trying to deal with these technical difficulties that I've had with this software, but it's my computer. It's not the software. Okay, I'm going to see if I can go live and head back here. And just a second, and then we'll get started. I'm super excited about tonight. So by the end of this session, what I want you to be able to do is to look at a product label and in 10 seconds or less, know if there's hidden toxins in it. So I'm going to refresh my screen here and see if I am live. Hopefully I am. And for those of you that don't know me, my name is Tanya Harris. I'm the founder of healthyhomehappyfamily.com. And I am super excited to be here tonight. If you don't know my story, I am a childhood leukemia survivor. I'm also the mother of 3, and I'm board certified in holistic nutrition. But my mission really is to help parents discover the common toxins in their home that are affecting their children's health and their own health. So what I'm going to do right now, and hi everyone, I see Omar's here. Hello, Amy. And Jeff, thank you so much. Ricky, Mary, thank you. And Kim, hi, how are you? Thank you so much. And I'm about to try this, so let's see if I can do this right. But I'm going to share my screen because I'm going to try this webinar with my slides. So if it doesn't work, stay on this page on my Tanya Harris MS. I can't even talk right now. I'm so excited. MSHN page, and I will just do the Facebook Live here with my other software. So I'm going to share my screen right now. And I don't even know what's up there, so let's see. I want my Keynote software, and we'll go here. Let's see. And this should work. So if you don't mind, if you could let me know, can you see me okay? And can you see my screen? That would be awesome if you let me know. I'm going to check here too on my other computer to see if I can see myself live. And also, again, if you could let me know, that would be awesome if you can see me. Oh, thank you. All right, good. I think we're good to go. All right, so what I'm going to talk about tonight is hidden toxins and why they're in your products, what you can do about them, and how to know that they're there. Because this is one of my huge things when I first started my non-toxic journey, which really probably started 35 years ago when I was diagnosed with childhood cancer. But then especially after I had kids, and I'll tell you a little bit about my story tonight and how I really got so into this and went back to school and got my master's degree and became board certified and all that good stuff. But right now, I'm just gonna dig in, and what I want you to do is, it's 8 o'clock at night, grab a glass of wine, maybe close all your other tabs so you can concentrate on this and just sit back and enjoy, because hopefully, well, I know by the end of this, you'll be able to look at a product label and tell in 10 seconds or less whether there's hidden toxins. But I think there's a lot you're going to learn tonight. So with that, I will just jump right in. So tonight, what we're going to talk about is how toxins can affect our children and ourselves, but especially our children because they're a little bit different. Why some toxins are not required to be listed on the label, health effects of these hidden toxins, and how to read product labels for them in under 10 seconds, like I've mentioned 3 times before. So, and then stay tuned because I've got a great giveaway and an exciting offer towards the end. But also, if you register through the Zoom link, or if you're here on Facebook, I want to make sure that you get the registration, or the registration gift. So I have the freebie with everything that we're going to be talking about tonight. I was going to make a notebook so you could take notes, but there was so much. I'm just going to give you a guide with everything in it. So I'll make sure at the end I give you a link to register or to give me your email so I can send it right to you. And that'll be available right after this webinar. So first of all, what I wanted to say is that I'm not sharing this information to scare anyone or any fear mongering. I don't go for that stuff. What I like to do is I like to show you quick, easy, and practical tips for living a more non-toxic lifestyle, because it can be easier than you think. And the information is so scary, but you really do have a lot more control than you think you do. And that's what I want to show you. And that's what I want to show you tonight. And there's always safer brands to buy. Companies now are so good about, well, most companies, I should say, so good about listening to consumer demand and actually changing the formulations. So in some of these slides I have, who knows, always check the labels, because what I have on the labels tonight actually may not be on the labels forever once these companies realize that consumers are not wanting these ingredients. So really, I just want to empower you and show you that you do have more control than you think you do, because it can seem very overwhelming and very scary. So for those of you that don't know me, I'll go a little bit into my journey and about how I got here, and I'll try to do this pretty quickly. But this is a picture of me and my family. I've got a 19-year-old son named Eric, and then there's my husband James, and then me, and then my 13-year-old daughter Lindsay, and my 15-year-old daughter Kaylee. So this is a picture of me and my family on vacation this summer. But this is really where I think my journey started. And this slide is pretty hard for me to show, but this is me probably around age 7 or 8, so first or second grade. When I was 7 years old, I was diagnosed with ALL leukemia, so childhood leukemia. I was treated at Children's Memorial Hospital in Chicago for, I think, 14 years total. So this is a really huge reason why I went into this, I believe. I think it started way long ago. So, you know, and now I have an organization where I raise money and I donate the money back to Children's, which is now Lurie Children's Hospital. And so far, I've been able to raise $160,000 that has gone back to where I was treated, and I've been able to do some check presentations with my doctor. We just did another event this year where we raised another $18,000, bringing our total donated to $160,000 for Lurie Children's Hospital in Make-A-Wish, Illinois. And we're actually doing another check presentation very soon with my doctor again, who treated me. So it's going to be super cool, and I'm excited. But anyway, this is probably really where my journey started. And again, here's my kids. They're a huge part. Back when my son was in second grade, I think it was back in 2006. Yeah, 2006. I got a phone call from the school, and I went and met with his teacher, and they wanted to test him for ADHD. And I had seen signs of it. I was surprised, but not surprised. But I just asked for a little bit more time, because I just figured there has to be something in our home or in our food, something that maybe could be aggravating his symptoms, and maybe there was something I could do before we medicate him or test him. And I'm not against medication. So for anybody whose child is on medicine, I am not judging. I just didn't think it was right for my family at the time, because the symptoms weren't severe enough. So, but I did go home. I researched the heck out of everything, made some tweaks and changes with our food and some of the personal care products we were using. I went back to the school 3 weeks later, and they no longer saw a need to test him. So I was just absolutely floored and ecstatic. We did not cure him. There's no technical cure, but we were able to lessen the symptoms enough that the school no longer saw a need to test him. And then a few years later, I got another phone call from the school. So you can really see how I hate these phone calls from the school. They wanted to test my daughter for learning disabilities. She had fallen behind, and I had seen it. I used to teach. My degree is in elementary education. So we did go through with the testing, and this is super hard to talk about, but I did get the phone call, luckily, the night before we were going into the school to talk about the results, and they called me that night, and they said yes. And her words were severely learning disabled, which, you know, I got a good chance to go out into the garage and ugly cry before I came back in or go to the meeting the next day. But you can imagine after that, the amount of studying I did. And, you know, I went back to school, and I was just really, I was on a mission. So at the time, long story short, I opened a store back in 2008. And this was actually even before my daughter's issues started. But I was really tired of finding or bringing home natural and safer products, only to find out they were anything but. So I opened an online store with products that I used on me and my family, and that I carefully vetted all the ingredient lists, and they had to match all my criteria. And so, but I closed that in 2010 because I officially went back to school and got my master's degree in holistic nutrition. And then I graduated in 2014 and decided I wanted to take it further, because I wanted to help other parents in the way I've seen my children get better. So then I went on to become board certified. I studied for the board exam, became board certified in late 2014. I also have certificates from the Institute for Responsible Technology on speaking about the health implications of GMOs. I have environmental health certificates from the University of Arizona's Arizona Center for Integrative Medicine. And I'm currently in the process of getting a GI disorders specialist certification from the Integrative Medicine Academy. Plus I have a few others I didn't list, but that's me in a nutshell. So I just wanted to mention that because I am coming to you as a mom who has gone through this, but also I've heavily invested in my education because I want to be able to help parents and help themselves and help their children in the best way I can. And I think toxins are pretty exciting to learn about, and I'll tell you why in a little bit, but I really think that those are the missing piece. And I'm sorry if people are commenting. I can't see when I'm sharing my screen, but I'll come back and I'll answer questions and I'll interact it a little bit. So why should we care about these chemicals? I'll go through this pretty quickly. There are over 80,000 chemicals in our products, and only a small percent has been tested for safety. And I do have a Facebook Live video I can link to where I do talk about who's in charge of safety. Tonight I just wanted to keep it to the toxins and not overwhelm, so I'll link to that as well. But also, this is a really scary quote, and this came from Dr. Richard Carmona. He's the former U.S. Surgeon General, and he has said that because of the increasing rates of obesity, unhealthy eating habits, and physical inactivity, we may see the first generation that will be less healthy and have a shorter life expectancy than their parents. Now, this just shocks and scares me. That's why I really want to do what I do. I really concentrate on what these chemicals do to our kids. They are doing the same thing to us. It's just that children handle things differently. So we also don't want ourselves or our children to be the frog in boiling water. So if you know that story, I think it goes that the scientists were doing some research. I don't know if they really were or not, just the way it goes. And what they did was they had a pot of boiling water. And when they put the frog in, the frog jumped out right away because it's boiling water. But then when they took a pot of cool water and put the frog in it and slowly started boiling it, the frog boiled to death. And that sounds a little harsh, but we don't want to be that frog in boiling water. We don't know what these chemicals are doing to us. They are affecting us at a cellular level. Some issues might be acute, which means right away, but most of them are chronic and we won't see them till later in life. So that's really why I want to get this information out. Also, I love this quote from Maya Angelou. I did then what I knew how to do. Now that I know better, I do better. So the first thing is, don't beat yourself up. If you see products in your home tonight that have some of these ingredients in there, I'll teach you the 80-20 rule. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. It is about balance. So there's other things we can do, but just know that, I've looked back at some of the stuff I used on my kids when they were little and they were formulated for babies. So I thought they were okay and they really were not, but we can't beat ourselves up. So that's the first thing is no guilt here. So just when we get to these labels, just remember now that we know better, we can do better when we can. So how are these chemicals affecting our children? Children have more exposure to these toxins than adults because they're more closely tied to their environment. So you can see this baby here, they're always licking their fingers, biting themselves, or licking furniture or the floor. Also, pound by pound, they have more exposure because they breathe more air. They have more surface area. They are way more closely tied to their environment. And a lot of the damage from these toxins can actually occur even before birth. And you've probably heard this study before that 287 chemicals have been found in the umbilical cord blood of newborns. And 180 of these have been shown to cause cancer in humans or animals. 217 are toxic to the brain and nervous system. 208 cause birth defects or abnormal development in animal studies. And nearly 200 have been banned from the market for years, but yet they're still persistent in the environment and they are getting into our children's blood even before they're born. So they also don't have the detoxification systems yet needed to break down these toxins quickly. And they're also exposed at a younger age, so that means they have a longer exposure time. And with these new chemicals especially, we don't know how they work synergistically and how these are going to affect them later down the road. And here's just a couple scary statistics that 1 in 5 children and adolescents have diagnosed learning disorders. Oopsies, that's mistake. Rates of invasive pediatric cancers are up 20% over the last 20 years. And then delays in brain development or neurological diseases are thought to occur in 1 in 6 children. And those are really just the ones that have been diagnosed. So with all that being said, I'll get into how these toxins are affecting us right now when we go into these sneaky toxins. So the first one we're going to talk about tonight is 1,4-dioxane. And you don't have to worry about writing all of these down because I do have a freebie for you. Just for registering and attending this, you'll get my guide. It's a few pages long, and it's got all these labels that we're talking about tonight with everything highlighted and how to look for these ingredients just by looking at them really quickly. These definitely are, it's not a definitive list. It's not even a definitive list of all the ingredients that contain 1,4-dioxane. I'm just picking the ones that are the ones that stand out quickly. And there's more, but I'll tell you later how you can find that out. But for right now, we'll just go into this. But again, you don't worry about writing all this down, and you'll get a replay. So the first one is 1,4-dioxane, and that is created through a process called ethoxylation, where they use ethylene oxide, which is a known cancer causer, to make harsher chemicals less harsh. So for instance, there's a chemical called sodium lauryl sulfate, and it's pretty hard on the skin. It's very irritating. It's actually something that they use in medical studies when they actually purposely need to irritate the skin to test the effectiveness of some other products. So pretty harsh. So what they do is they convert it to sodium lauryl sulfate, which I'll show you on some labels in just a minute. But that is using that process called ethoxylation with the ethylene oxide. So then you have exposure not only to that cancer-causing ethylene oxide, but a byproduct of that is the 1,4-dioxane. And that's why it's not required to be listed on the label, because it is considered to be a byproduct of the manufacturing process. So there's no way for you to know if it's in a product or not unless you know what to look for. So just for instance, sodium lauryl sulfate, you can see it right here on the label. It's the second ingredient. And a family's biggest exposure to 1,4-dioxane is in personal care products and cosmetics. And the U.S. Consumer Product and Safety Commission has said that even small trace amounts of 1,4-dioxane are cause for concern. And it's really in a lot of things that foam, because it's the sodium lauryl sulfate and things like that, things that make your products foam, like even your child's bubble bath or soap or shampoo, toothpaste. Look for it in that type of things. And you can see them here. And the brands that I do have listed here as of this time do have some of these ingredients in there. So always check the product labels carefully, but you'll also find them in cleaning products such as laundry detergents, in Aveeno hair care products, and shampoo and lotions. And so the problem with 1,4-dioxane and toxicity is it's listed by the California EPA as a suspected neurotoxicant, meaning that it's suspected to be toxic to the nervous system. So especially when you're pregnant or you have a child, small child, it can get right into their skin, because once you put something on the skin, most likely it does get into there pretty quickly. You don't want anything that's toxic to the nervous system. That can lead to learning disabilities, behavior issues, Alzheimer's down the road. Anything that's toxic to the brain and nervous system, we want to stay away from. It's also been found to be toxic to the liver, kidneys, and to the respiratory system. And there's also links between 1,4-dioxane and cancer. I won't read every single one, but it's reasonably anticipated to be a human carcinogen, which means carcinogen means cancer causing. The EPA considers it to be a probable human carcinogen. Here's another one where it's possibly carcinogenic to humans, and it's listed on California's Proposition 65 list as known to cause cancer. And I'm sorry again if anybody's putting questions up there. I can't see them yet because I'm sharing my screen, but I'll get to them in just a minute. So here's some ingredients. This is not a comprehensive list, but if you look for sodium lauryl sulfate or anything with polyethylene glycol, which will most likely be PEG, that shows you that there's possible 1,4-dioxane contamination in the product. So what I recommend doing, and I'll show you some labels here in just a minute, is looking for that sodium lauryl sulfate, and it's usually in the top few ingredients. And then anything that has a PEG or ETH is also something to be on the lookout for. So let's look at our first label here. Okay, so right away, always look for the sodium lauryl sulfate. That's going to be in the top like quarter. This is the second ingredient. So you can see here sodium lauryl sulfate right away. So now you know, okay, 1,4-dioxane contamination. But this is a kid's product, and look at all those arrows I have there. So you have sodium lauryl sulfate, you have that CTIF 20, that's another one, so ETH, another PEG ingredient down on the right-hand side, if you can see my arrow. And then there's another sodium olef, and then a magnesium olef sulfate. So all those end in ETH, or there's a PEG there also. So, I mean, that's 6 different exposures to dioxane, 1,4-dioxane in this one product. So this product is really full of it. So especially for our kids, I would just toss this one back on the shelf. Actually, if you have it, just toss it in the garbage. Don't even use this one up. So let's see. Let's go on to the next one. This is a sunscreen for kids, and you can see right away. If you followed me, you know I also don't like these kind of sunscreens, so we won't even get into that. But right away, you can see PEG highlighted. So that's something that I think that can stand out right away. If you look at a product and right away see PEG, you know, oh, 1,4-dioxane contamination. So there you go. Here's another one. So this is light night cream from Neutrogena. You can see PEG and PEG. There's 2 exposures right here. And if you have seen a lot of my other videos too, you'll see a lot of other nasty things here, but it's hard for me to mention, or not to mention. We're just staying with the hidden toxins. So for right now, we can see right away PEG. And they're all capitalized. So it's super easy to look at an ingredient label and just see PEG. Oh, 1,4-dioxane, hidden toxin. Here's another one for this natural looking soft soap, Fresh and Glow. Sodium lauryl sulfate right there, right at the top. So we know, oh, that's probably a contaminated product right there. And here's another one, Clean and Clear Essentials. So I see PEG, and then I see sodium lauryl sulfate, and another PEG, and a Parith 20. So there's 4 exposures right here. And Johnson's Baby Shampoo. So this actually shouldn't be highlighted. I'm just going to take that out right now. That's for another slide. We can see right away two types of PEG ingredients, and the sodium tridecaph, I think I'm saying that right. Whatever, I'm not sure. Anyway, it ends in ETH. So this has a few different, they took their formaldehyde release route, which we'll talk about in a second, but they do still have 1,4-dioxane contamination ingredients in here. And let's see, another one, sodium lauryl sulfate. So you can see some of these you can see pretty quickly because they're just going to be right at the beginning. Okay, another one, PEG, you can see here. I'm going to start going through this a little quickly. So sodium lauryl sulfate right there in the Cetaphil Baby Gentle Wash, and a PEG ingredient right here. So if you don't see anything right at the beginning with the sodium lauryl sulfate, go towards the bottom and look for the PEG or ETH. And here's another one, again, sodium lauryl sulfate right there. You don't really even need to go any further. So that's pretty much it for the 1,4-dioxane. And I think, let me see if I can go here. Oh, there's a lot of comments, thank you. Does anybody have any questions about this one, about the 1,4-dioxane? Because, oh, thanks, Omar. Oh, Chris, thank you so much. I'm so excited. Oh, Chris, thank you. That just made my day. Thank you so much. And thanks for watching. So does anybody have any questions on this so far? Not so far. Good. Thanks, Omar. Because I know I go pretty fast, but again, you'll get this replay. So now let's go on to formaldehyde releasers. And this is the one that I really, really don't like. I don't like the 1,4-dioxane, but this I think is just sneaky. So formaldehyde releasers. These are chemicals that are used in cosmetics that decompose slowly over time, and that produces formaldehyde or releases small amounts of formaldehyde in the body because it acts as a preservative for the product. So they say it's only small trace amounts, but we get so many different exposures to this. So you'll see in a minute when I go into the labels how many different exposures we could be getting per day through our personal care products. Not to mention it's in like particle boards and flooring, nail polish. It's even produced in our bodies when we drink something diet that contains aspartame, which I didn't put it in the slides and I didn't mean to mention, but there's so many different ways that we're exposed to formaldehyde. So even though these companies say that these formaldehyde releasing ingredients are producing or just releasing a trace amount of formaldehyde, again, we don't know what the synergistic effects, we don't know how much it takes to actually cause cancer in the body, because formaldehyde is a known cancer causer. And this is another reason why formaldehyde is a sneaky ingredient, because formaldehyde is not listed on the label. You won't see formaldehyde. You'll see some of these ingredients coming up like quaternium-15. So if you see something like that, then you know formaldehyde is being released into the product. So that's why it's not required to be listed. It's just being released, but it's not actually been added to the product itself. So I think I heard something. Good question. Okay, Tracy. I do, and that's part of the giveaway tonight. So I do. And I will put something up here too, because I do have a safer list of my personal care products that I do recommend. Most of it's in my course, but I do have a freebie, and it's a great idea. I'll actually add that to the freebie you'll get tonight. So that's an awesome question. Thank you, and thanks for watching. Okay, so let's get into the ingredients. Again, this is not a comprehensive list because I didn't want to overwhelm too much, but these are the ones you want to look out for. And I think the first two are really easy to spot on a label. So you'll see DMDM-hydantoin, if I'm saying that correctly, quaternium-15, and then these two, imidazolidinylurea and diazolidinylurea. So those are the four main ones that I'm going to talk about tonight that can contain, or that do release formaldehyde. So it's contained in everything from baby wipes even to nail polish, lotions, again, your kids' shampoo and baby wash, your own. There's so many things that this is contained in, and we'll go into the labels in just a minute, but you'll be really surprised actually when you see what has it in there. And I just heard another beep, so I'll get to, if it's a question, I'll get to it in just a second. I can't see it again when I'm sharing my screen. So at the time of this recording, I did put this together, and these are, at the time right now, products that do contain formaldehyde releasers. So again, baby wipes to makeup, baby wash, soft soap, swab for kids, lotions, face wash, so many different things. And the problem with formaldehyde is that it is a known human carcinogen. It's also linked to organ damage and respiratory damage, and it's also a very strong skin irritant and a very strong skin sensitizer. So you might have skin reactions if you have something that has a formaldehyde releaser in it. So if there's any product you're using and sometimes you get kind of a rash or itchy, I want you to look for these ingredients because it might be something that you're not suspecting. So really important to look. And this is important too, that a study found that formaldehyde releasers increase the amount of formaldehyde released the longer it's stored and the higher the temperature it's stored at. So make sure you're storing all your cosmetics in a safe, cool environment, and always be checking your expiration dates. If you do have any of these that you're not willing to throw away quite yet, and that's fine too, just make sure you're storing it in a cool place and don't keep it past its expiration date. So let's look quickly here. Oh, and look right away, you can see PEG. So you know it's got probably 1,4-dioxane contamination, but you can see here it's got that diazolidinylurea. Now, anything that's a formaldehyde releaser, you're going to want to look at the middle towards the end of the product. So it's not going to be at the beginning because it is a preservative. I have seen some towards the middle, but most likely look towards the bottom of the product if this is what you're looking for. So this is part of that 10 seconds or less. If you're looking specifically for formaldehyde releasers, look towards the bottom. On this one, this is a Neutrogena product. You can see DM-hydantoin right there. And again, it's towards the bottom. You can also see PEG there. But again, just look right towards the bottom, and I always just scan real quickly for anything that's all in caps, like that DM. And here's one, this Kenra shampoo. This one has 2 formaldehyde releasers in it. So you can see there that it's got the DM-hydantoin and the imidazolidinylurea. And this baby Coppertone sunscreen for babies has diazolidinylurea, again, right at the bottom of the label. Now, here's something else. This is Rodan and Fields. I get a lot of questions about Rodan and Fields. to me, they don't pretend to be natural or safer. So I don't have as big a problem with them as I do some of the other companies that I get a lot of questions about. I don't recommend their products, but again, they're not pretending to be something that they're not. So I'll just clear that up about why I'm not super upset with Rodan and Fields, because they're just not one that says they're a safer product and then has some questionable ingredients in there. But they do have, you can see here, DMDM hydantoin, and they also have diazoledonylurea. And I can see on this bottom one, the unblemished acne treatment, you can see Laureth 7 and PEG, Satireth. So, I mean, there's a whole bunch of 1,4-dioxane contaminated ingredients right there. And I wonder if I can pull this up really fast. I had one, this is the freebie you're gonna get. I did have one. Oh, okay, so if you can see my screen right here, the Clean and Clear face wash, Quaternium 15. And again, it's at the end. So I think it's super easy to see those. Look for a 15 or a DMDM hydantoin. That's how I scan the label really quick. If I don't see any of those, then I go to the diazoledonylurea. So let's see. So to review real quick, look for ingredients that end in ETH or have PEG in the name, and that's for the 1,4-dioxane. And again, look at those, like sodium laureth sulfate, you'll see right at the beginning of the label. The ETH ingredients will be scattered throughout it. Scan labels quickly for DMDM, for the DMDM hydantoin, or anything with a 15, because that'll be the Quaternium 15, and you'll be able to spot that again pretty quickly too. Many products will have both, as you've just seen now that we've gone through some of these. And check all labels carefully, including safer or natural products, because I'll tell you what, when I started this way back in 2006, when I super started studying it, I would buy safer and natural products that were more expensive, and I would come home and do my research and be like, oh, this one has a hidden toxin too. So it was super frustrating. So look at all of your products, safer or natural. And again, to not scare you, what I recommend is like my 80-20 rule is basically what I follow. Sometimes I'm a little more strict with that, but just buy safer products 80% of the time, and 20% of the time, if you have to buy something somewhere else, like last week I really needed a blush and I forgot my blush, I bought one at the store, just for one-time use, and just I keep in my purse for emergencies. I really don't use it. I love my more natural product, but you know, in a pinch, sometimes you have to do what you have to do. So follow the 80-20 rule. And another thing you can do is just replace your 1 or 2 most used items. So if you have your favorite shampoo has sodium laureth sulfate or some of those ingredients you want to avoid, start replacing your shampoo first, or your child's shampoo first if it has that in there. Just start making small changes. It does not have to be everything all at once, because even the small steps you take can just have such a huge impact on your family's health. And I'm going to check real quick and see if there's any more questions. Does anybody have any questions on that part? Oh, and thank you to everybody else who's joined. I appreciate it. And so with all of that being said, tonight I'll make sure all of you get that freebie guide. It will have everything in it. I'll bring this up again. Oh, that's not the one. I don't know where it's at. Okay, so it'll be a guide of what we talked about tonight, how to read labels. I'll have everything highlighted, and it will have some personal care products that I recommend. It's definitely not my full list, but I'm just, for today, this is why I was thinking, when I was putting this together, it was really based on my frequently asked questions, because people wanted to not have to research everything. And I really think these hidden toxins are something that aren't brought up enough, and they really hide. And so no matter how much research you do, sometimes you just can't find these things. So I'm guessing that if you were here, you wanted to take back control of your family's health, but you're not quite sure how. Maybe your children or yourself have health issues and you want to do what you can to support healing. Or you're just tired of not seeing the results you want, whether it's thyroid issues, weight loss, autoimmune conditions, hopefully, you know, even cancer, anything like that. You're just trying to take control of your health and help your body to heal by taking away some of these toxins. And you're just looking for that missing piece as to what could still be causing them. And like me, you could be frustrated with shopping for natural products, but not realizing that there's hidden toxins in some of them. And, you know, you just get so upset and frustrated like I did. or you're looking for a quicker, easier way to have a more non-toxic home without doing all those hundreds of hours of research. And what I have for you now actually could be toxins are the missing piece, I believe, in most things. So with most things we struggle with, we take things out of our diet, but we're still putting things on our skin or we're still breathing things in. And we don't always think about how that's affecting our health, but it could be. So I really think that toxins are the missing piece. And once you do this correctly and find out what to avoid for yourself and your family and how to find that fine balance, I really feel like you'll have a happy, healthy family and put back together. Because I know like these toxins can have such an issue on neurodevelopmental issues. So if you have small kids with tantrums, I know it helped my daughter when she was little, ADHD, so many different things. I think toxins play a big role and I don't think they're mentioned enough. Plus when we're putting it on our skin, they're just going right into our bloodstream, most of them. And they don't go through the same detoxification processes like our food would. So they can do their damage a little more quickly. Whether or not we know it, down the road we may have issues. So I really just feel like it's time for you to take control of your health and the health of your family. And the good news is you just really have so much more control than you think you do. And it's really time to stop wasting money on products that are not as natural as you thought or that could be contributing to health conditions. And to stop researching hours and hours to find the right products to buy and which ingredients to avoid for you and your child. And just sifting through thousands of pages of misinformation, because it can be really hard to be non-toxic, especially with all that misinformation out there. But it doesn't have to be, is the good news. And maybe you just want a simple step-by-step plan to remove the toxins without the hours and hours of research. So the good news is I've done thousands of hours of research and I've done a lot of work with clients, and I've got this system narrowed down for everything I've done from my family. And it's really surprising that once you start and you have just a few things in place, how easily everything else falls into place, and then you don't even have to think about it. So when you get this right, it's just super easy. Just buying a few certain things can get you on your way quicker than you can imagine. So this is what really got in my way when I started, was the overwhelm. And I was, cooking, cleaning, being a mom, working, and taking care of kids, and trying to research how to help my son through his ADHD issues or his attention issues. Money, because it can be expensive to buy more non-toxic. And wondering where to start, that was my biggest one, because I had no clue. And back then in 2006, the internet was not what it is today. And so I spent a lot of time reading books and just spending countless hours in this. So I'm just wondering what's getting in your way. Do you have any of these, or what's your biggest challenge? If you can drop that in there, that would be awesome. I'm just going to see if there's any more questions. So if anybody has any questions or wants to put in their biggest challenge, maybe I can help you with that if you want to write that in there. I'll come back and look in a second. So if you want to know how to have a more non-toxic home where your family can breathe better, sleep better, and feel better without the stress, overwhelm, and wasted money, I have a super exciting program for you. And I'm super excited about it. I finished it up, but the thing is, tonight I am only taking 10 people, and I'm not just saying that. So I do have a very exciting opportunity to participate in my Healthy Home Project. And you're going to be working with me side by side. I am actually going to coach you through this and help you through this. I haven't done this so far with any of my courses. I have not fully taught it, but I'm super excited about it, because I can help you have a healthier, happier home, healthier family, maybe less temper tantrums or allergies. Not guaranteeing results, but you will probably see a reduction in symptoms in just 21 days. And I'm not even kidding about that. So what I have is my Healthy Home Project that I'm super, super excited about. It's all my client work. It's all what I've done for my own family, my thousands of hours of research, my thesis I did for my master's degree, everything rolled into one. So the program is not about deprivation or worry that you're not doing enough. It's about knowing that any small changes you make can have a big impact on your family's health. So I'll show you just a little bit about what is in the program. It's based on the three main pathways, what we put in our bodies, on our bodies, and around our bodies. So we start in the kitchen, which is the foundation for any healthy foundation. We go through there, and every module has a resource library of my top 10 ingredients to avoid, but you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to do all 10 toxins. I'll teach you how to prioritize which toxins to avoid getting rid of for your family specifically, and which toxic products to get rid of first, so you're not having to feel like you have to get rid of all of them. Then we move on to personal care products and cosmetics. And then what we put around our bodies is cleaning products and even air fresheners and candles. So, and I completely understand if you're a candle junkie, because I sure was. So I've got some great tips there. But module 1, again, top 10 ingredients to avoid, safer brands to buy. You'll actually get my comprehensive guide that has over 250 brands that are safer brands that I've gone through every single label and every single product to make sure that it meets my standards for the Healthy Home Project. Sweeteners, what to use and what to avoid so you can get a healthy sweetener. You'll be surprised at what is in those and how many are linked to cancer and altering gut health, just scary. So you'll also find safer ones. How to read food labels, what they really mean. For instance, another hidden toxin is monosodium glutamate, which is in so many foods. I can teach you there too. I have a list of over 40 ingredient names that you can just download to your phone, so you'll know if MSG is hiding in it. If after you find out what that can do to you, you want to avoid that one as well. And how to shop for organic items on a budget. So that's one of the main things too, is the money issue. Module 2 is what's in your personal care and beauty products. So again, it's a resource library. Each ingredient is in its own little video. So instead of watching a huge long video of my top 10 ingredients to avoid, each of those ingredients is its own video. And I can probably even show you in a second. 3 sneaky toxins in your products that aren't required to be listed on the label. You've seen 2 tonight, but you haven't seen all of them, and you haven't seen all of the names for them. Safer brands to buy, and again, how to read product labels. And number 3 is what's in your cleaning products. So this is one of my favorite ones because I have a huge list of safer brands to buy, but I think it's more fun to make my own. And I don't enjoy being in the kitchen. I don't enjoy cooking. I'm a holistic nutritionist who does not like cooking. But anyway, I think it's so easy to make your own cleaning products, and they can actually do a better job. And then you don't need 10 cleaning products one for bathroom countertop, one for mirrors, one for, having a huge cleaning cabinet. You'll learn safer brands to buy, again, in that guide. Causes of indoor air pollution, which you'll be surprised about, and safer ways to freshen naturally that are absolutely awesome and smell great. This is how I got over my candle addiction. And DIY cleaning recipes that will save you time and money. And they're probably already in your pantry right now. So that's the cool part. So basically, here's a breakdown of it. What you'll get if you decide to be in my beta program of just 10 people before I really launch. 3 modules plus 1 bonus module that's coming out. Over 20 cheat sheets and guides and checklists. And you can download these to your phone, so when you're out shopping, it's super quick. I basically take all the guesswork out for you. So once you narrow down which ingredients you want to prioritize avoiding, you'll have the cheat sheet there and know which brands to buy. And that's what I mean. Once you do this just for a little bit, it becomes automatic and super easy. So I'm taking out all the hours of research and overwhelm for you right here. 12 plus training videos in each module. Access to the private Facebook community where I'll be in there daily. I'll be doing Facebook Lives that are more involved than what I've been doing on my page, that really get into the nitty gritty of these toxins, and anything you're stuck with, I can help you with. Lifetime access, including all future updates. So say in 6 months something comes out about high fructose corn syrup, something else, I will update that. And then I'll update the training, the cheat sheets. I'll update all of that. So you'll get all future updates. It's lifetime access. As long as the course exists, you'll have access. So you'll also get 3 months free of my Healthy Home Project membership, which I'll be releasing late October, which I'm super excited about. And that's just a continuance of the Healthy Home Project because I can't possibly put everything in there. But I'm also working out deals with companies that sell these safer products that I recommend. I'm not an affiliate for anyone. I just want to get that out there. I don't work with any MLM companies or direct sales, but actual companies that I have vetted their ingredient lists and found them to be safer. I've been working out some deals with them so that you can get a percentage off. So every month you'll get a new something like that. And one new, I'll get into that later. But anyway, I've had a lot of requests for that, like what goes beyond the one-on-one help. So I created this membership. And then the bonuses, which is my favorite part. This is super important. The private Facebook community, again, I'll be in there daily, and I'll be doing a lot more videos and a lot more specific videos and really getting into why you want to avoid some of these toxins for your family. And then we can all hang out in there and ask questions of each other and just support each other on this, because it is a journey for all of us. I have a resource guide for coupons, and it's got, I believe, over 25 coupon sources for finding natural and organic products on a budget, or just if you want to find coupon deals. So there's over 25 sources there. I have a resource guide of websites and apps to help you shop healthy. So this is another good one that I get requests a lot for. What do I have on my phone? What websites do I recommend? So it's basically anything to help you shop healthier. And this one is awesome because this is my cheat sheet shopping guide. This is a one-page guide that you just download to your phone, and it's all the ingredients to avoid. And their other names, if they're hidden, it's got their other names. So this is just something I recommend downloading to your phone. And then when you go shopping, you know which ones to be on the lookout for and why. And here is my favorite and everybody's favorite. This is the one I get asked for all the time, but it is only in my program. It's my full comprehensive guide of safer brands to buy. So you'll get this, and this is also going to be updated until my membership becomes active at the end of October, but I'll probably continue this through December because I'm always finding new brands. But it has over 250 brands that I've gone through and checked all their products to see if they match my criteria, because it can't have any of my ingredients to avoid in there. You know, they have to be clearly labeled, all of these, but it's over 250 brands and their links to how to find them, all in this one guide. So if you're ready to take control of your family's health, you're probably wondering what's the investment. And I do have a couple of options, but the total value for everything is $1,997, but that is absolutely not what I'm charging. It's what I've charged for these separately, and including the time to work with me. So you'll get the full Healthy Home Project course and those bonuses plus the private Facebook community. And all you have to do is go to this, I shortened this URL. It's bit.ly/healthyhomeproject. And I'll show you the price here in just a second. I think I skipped a slide there. Okay, so it's limited to 10 people. And the reason I'm doing that is because I really want to narrow down and make sure I'm helping everybody the best way I can. And this information, I have released this course before, and then I went through an audit with someone who helped me turn it into an amazing course. But I really want to get a focus group of people who are invested, and that's why I do charge for it. I'm still using a lot of my time and resources, so it's the same as working with me one-on-one, but it is at a much cheaper rate. But again, 10 people, because I really want that small, close-knit community. And let's see, so the investment is $197 if you buy tonight. So if you buy tonight, I've got to change this to after October 2nd. If you buy tonight, it's $197. So, but there are a few requirements that I'm asking for. The first one is that you follow the program as closely as possible, so you don't have to do every single thing. I don't expect that. In the provided time frame, which is 4 weeks. And then I want you to also, at the beginning of the program, provide me a list of some of the most used toxic products in your home. And no judgment. You should see when I cleaned mine out for the first time. It was, trust me, no judgment at all. I just want to know. And then also provide me a list of some of the products you have been able to replace when we're done with that 4 weeks, and you'll be surprised. And then at the end, also, if you could provide feedback overall. I want feedback along the way, but overall, if you want to do a video testimonial, if you've had great results, any type of feedback you have, good or bad, that I would love that. That's what I'm requiring that at the end too, just because I want this to be the best program that it can be for you. And the fifth thing is have fun and enjoy the process. Because if you know me, I like to have fun, and I think toxins are such a heavy topic. So, you know, I've put T-Rexes, I have actual T-Rex costumes, those big blow up ones, for my kids, and they've dressed up in them. I've got videos ready to go of them making some of my cleaning products, cleaning out my oven with their short little dinosaur arms, using a natural cleaner. I'm spilling salsa and red wine on my carpet and showing you how to get it out with my, 2-ingredient DIY cleaning product that's gotten every stain out I've given it so far. So I want this to be fun too. It's not just us sitting there and talking about toxins the whole time. I do have a 30-day money back guarantee. And because I know at the end of this, you are going to have a healthier, happier home. And a lot of symptoms can be reduced. Even in that 30 days, you'll be surprised. I can't guarantee all results, but what's going to happen down the road if we don't do it now? A year from now, a year will still have passed, but maybe we can have a healthier year, by that time. Maybe we'll be able to prevent some health issues from happening down the road. We just don't know. But I do know that this is a great program. You will see results. You will have a more non-toxic home and easier than you ever thought possible. So I do offer a 30-day, no questions asked, no hassle guarantee. So the cart closes on October 6th because I'm going to start the class that next Monday, which I believe is the 9th. So we'll start October 9th. I will you'll have access to the course before then. So you'll get immediate access. It's just me teaching it will be 4 weeks. So, you can have access before then. I'll have homework assignments before you start, so you can get a good, quick jump on it. And then also October 16th is when my sunscreen module is going to re-release. I updated it all, made it easier to navigate, and that's coming too. So you'll also get a sunscreen module. And the fast acting bonus for tonight, I'm going to start the timer in just a minute. If you're still here and you buy in the next 15 minutes before that timer runs out, this is super fun. I've done this and I've charged $2.97 for this, but you can get it for free tonight if you buy in the next 15 minutes. So it's a healthy home bonus consult. So it's kind of like a lightning round, and it's super fun to do. So what you do is you can get as many products as you can get, put them on your table, and we'll Skype or we'll Zoom. This is the Zoom software. And you show me the product and the product label, and I will tell you yes or no, or what's wrong with it, or should you be using it and why or why not. And I'll already know ahead of time if you have any health concerns or what your goals are. So it's really just a really quick, fast lightning round, and it's super fun to do actually. So, and it will also be recorded so you can go back and get the info. I don't offer this anymore. So again, this is a $297 value that you'll get for free if you get this tonight. And I would love if you're one of my 10 beta people. I'm going to shut this now, but I'm going to go on to here. And again, just go to bit.ly/healthyhomeproject. And let me play this. Hopefully I can start. Is it going to start? I don't know. Let's see. Oh no. Okay. So it's not live. So there it goes. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So if you are interested and you want to buy before this 15 minutes is up, you'll get that bonus healthy home consult. But again, I'm only taking the first 10 people. And right now it looks like the sales page has a $247 offer. If you're interested, I will split that payment up. I don't have that available right now, but I'm willing to do that. So if you want to and you're interested, go ahead and just message me and I'll get you set up with that. And I'll actually create a link that I'll put in all this information too. But I think that's all I have, and I'll go look for questions now, and I'm actually going to have to stop that timer. So I'll just give you to the end of this webinar if you buy. By the end of this webinar, I will throw in that bonus consult for 30 minutes with you. Let's see. So I'm going to hop back over to Facebook, and Omar. Yes, absolutely, Omar. You can definitely do that. That would be great. Yeah. One thing I have done in the past, and if you're interested, is if you want to split the payment, not you, Omar, because it's your mom, but if you do want to split the payment with a friend, you can do that, and just send me your email and their email, and I will give you both access. Just because I really think that everybody needs this. So if I've already reached my 10, I don't know if that'll happen this time. It might. It'll just depend on when I reach my 10 people that I want in this group. But just so you know, too, that I will only offer this at $247 now, because once I get that feedback and I've changed it up, You know, I'm still taking a lot of courses, and I'm still investing in my education, so my prices are going to go up to reflect not only the changes that I've made in the course, but also my level of education too. So this will be the only time you'll get it at $247. And I'm not just saying that. I'm raising my prices, and not sure exactly what will be next time, but I do know that this is the very lowest it will be, just because I want the feedback and I want people invested in it. So, you know, if we get something for free, we don't necessarily follow through. So that's why I really want to make sure. But yes, Omar, definitely. Oh, and Andrea, thank you. I'm just looking for any questions, and I had a couple written down earlier. I got to find them because I wasn't sure. Oh, okay. So one of the things I got asked the most last time about the project was, can't I get all this information on the internet? And yes, you can. Absolutely, you can. Because, you know, there's nothing in the program that isn't from a medical journal. You can get some of the information on the internet, but there's so much misinformation on the internet unless you know exactly what you're looking for or actually how to find reliable sources. It's very hard. And not only that, but I actually give you a roadmap. So when you actually first start out in this program, I actually have a workbook for you where it says these are the health conditions in my family, or this is my why I'm interested in a more non-toxic home, and then a spot to take notes, and then afterwards, which ingredients, after you've watched the resource library, which ingredients actually, and I think I'm going to still share my screen. I wonder if I still can. Let me see. Which ingredients that you want to prioritize avoiding for your family. So I'm wondering if I can, where is Kajabi? Oh, here it is. I don't know if we can still see my screen or if it's, or if it's still stuck on. I'm going to stop share for just a second. Oh, there I am. Okay. I'm going to share my screen again, but I'm going to share this. Sign in. So I'll show you real quick I'll show you the course. If you want to see it and you're still here, I'll show you the course. So I'm going to sign in and ignore all this. This is just mine. This is the back end. So right now you're seeing how I created the course. Okay, so preview. You'll come to the sales page, but once you actually log in after you buy the course, this is what you'll see. So you have an introduction here. So this is how to navigate it the best way possible. Here's your modules, module 1, 2, and 3. So you have food, cleaning products, personal care and beauty products. And then when you hit next, you have your bonuses. So I love these bonus guides. I'm super excited about them. Let's see, previous. Okay, previous. So let's go, for example, into the first module, which is food. And so when you click on it, you'll see each one is broken down into 3 lessons. So the first one is just an introductory lesson. So this is why organic is worth it, and especially for your kids. It talks a little bit about what labels really mean. The second lesson is always the resource library of ingredients to avoid. And then the lesson 3 is always putting it all together. So for this one, it's reading food labels. But let's look at a resource library. So when you come to lesson 2, it'll always be the ingredients to avoid. So you can see, instead of watching a huge long video of all these ingredients to avoid, you can actually just pick and choose. So, you know, high fructose corn syrup, you can click on this and come down here and watch the video. And then there's always a cheat sheet. So other names for sugar, you can just download this, and you can also download the video so you can watch it offline. And when you're done with it, you can even mark it as complete so that when you come back in, you know exactly where you stopped or started from. So back to categories. I will show you module 1 always has the workbook. So click on this and let's find the workbook. Okay, so module 1 workbook, and then here's the other, you get kid snack ideas, if you can't buy organic, what to buy instead, 10 tips for buying organic on a budget, and then the Toss These Toxins cheat sheet. So we'll look at the workbook, and so you can just click on that and download it. and should pop up in a second. So again, let me know if you have any questions as I'm going through this. Okay, so what is your why? Gives you a little bit about how I got to my why. So here's room for you to put yours, and they're all fillable too, so you can type right into them. Oops, I can't type. Okay, so you can print them out, or you can type right into them online. So here's health concerns you may have, and you may have none, so that's great. And then notes from the class, so I'll skim through those really fast. Where it's found, how to avoid it. And then after the videos, it makes you think about what the most unhealthy, most consumed food in your kitchen is, or what the most unhealthy beverage in your kitchen is, your top deal breaker ingredient, because besides the 80-20 rule, the other thing I teach you about is a deal breaker ingredient, which is something that you're just not ever going to buy. And that actually takes a lot of stress off too, because if you see an ingredient or a product at a store that has an ingredient, that's a deal breaker, I'm not buying it. The 1 or 2 most used items in our kitchen that I want to replace first, a brand or product that you plan to replace in the near future. These are the ones I'll buy less frequently, and the ones that I will no longer buy. So it really gives you kind of a roadmap, and once you listen to all the ingredients to avoid, what to prioritize avoid for your family, because it doesn't have to be all or nothing. I mean, it's next to impossible to avoid all toxins, but you may have some health issues or some things that you're just looking for better support with, that once you listen to these resource libraries, you'd be like, oh, this is a definite one, this is a maybe, this is a not yet. So that's what I teach you how to do in this course. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I think I'm going to try to go back to Facebook, but I'm not sure if I can do it. All right, let me see if I can find myself. And okay, let's see if I can go back to sharing my screen, because I don't see anything. I was seeing live on Facebook. View stream on Facebook. I'm gonna look at it just to see if there's any questions. So I hope people are still here. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comment box. Oh, Omar, take my money already. Thank you. Yeah, I would love to have you in the group. I'm so excited. And let me see if there's other questions I have here. It's 4 weeks. It starts again on October 9th. But again, you'll have access immediately and you can get started. And I just want to say thank you so much to everyone for being here. I hope that helps. So whether you're a part of this course or not, and I hope I'm still live. Let me see, stop sharing. Okay, so I just want to say I hope you got a lot of information out from this tonight. I'm going to send you out the guide. I'll put in the video how to make sure I have your email address so that I can send you the guide. If you haven't signed up officially through Zoom, then I don't have your email address and I can't send you the replay, or I can't send you the guide. So anyway, I'll fix that for you. And if you want to buy, the link again is bit.ly. So bit.ly/healthy home project, all one word. Healthy home, the HHP are capitalized in that. I'll put a link to it. But really, whether or not you decide to be part of this beta group or whether or not you purchase or not, I really hope you got great information tonight, and I will see you soon. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and drop any questions into the bottom here and I'll get to them. And thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a great night.